Okay, in this tutorial I'm just going to show you how to add some keys to the exposures within the to the outcrop pattern within here, so that we can correlate colours to the key. Because you can see that actually this colour here for the Bussière is quite similar to this colour in here for the Lass, and we need to be able to make it easily distinguishable. So what I want to do is I go into Formations and go to Properties, and I want to go to Labels. Okay. And I want to label all the features the same way. So I'm going to click here to get a tick mark to say that I want to label this feature, and I want to label it by the formation. Okay, and then I can say maybe make it this a 10-point font, and that's it. So, and then I can just look at see what the placement properties, and I want to sort of select sort of regular placement. I think all the default options should be okay. We might have to adjust it later. But anyway, let's click OK. And you'll see that in all of the formations it'll have put a code of what this is. You can see that there's some conflicts in some places. It's gone over the boundary, so we might be able to resolve those if we play around a little bit. Okay. The other thing we want to do is we want to add a legend, okay, to the map. So we can do that by insert we select off the thing, insert. Yeah, so I would see I was selected in here, or I had something selected which meant that it wouldn't work. So then now I can insert legend, and I will get a whole list of things in here. Probably the best thing is to get rid of everything off here, and then start afresh of what we want to add on to here. We want to add the formations onto there. We want to add the bedding, what the bedding is, what the younging is, what the paleocurrent data is, what our fold plunges are. Okay. Then we want to add what our boundary types are, what our thrusts are, what our fold traces are, and then maybe what our section ends are as well. We don't really need to label any of the geography down here, and I think that should be everything. So we've got bedding, we've got younging, for the paleocurrents, we've put thrusts on there, put fold traces, we put the boundaries, we put the section ends, and we put formations. Okay. And then you might want to set, say, 3 columns for your legend. Okay. This puts the title, and we can set up some borders and frames here. I'm just going to leave the defaults. Again, I'm going to leave the defaults, and we can stitch preview in here. Finishing, then we can drag this legend to in here. We might have to move things around a bit to get it to work. So maybe I'm going to put, maybe have 6 columns in here. So I'm going to delete that and start again. So insert legend. Let's get rid of everything. I'm going to have formations, and then I'm going to have bedding, younging, paleocurrent, fold plunge. And then I'm going to have my boundaries, thrusts, fold traces, and then my section ends. Okay, and I'm going to have 6 columns. There we go, that's going to fit better, isn't it? So we've got some slight issues with it here. We can change them in here, formations. And we can move things around in here, I think, once we've exported it. Okay. The other thing we might want to add is a north arrow. So we can do insert in here, a north arrow. We can choose a nice simple one. I know. Maybe this one. Put it maybe a bit bigger. And that. This will need a bit of tidying up, but we can do that later. We can also insert a scale bar. Okay, maybe just a nice we just drag it out until we get it to a kilometre. There we go. Seems a sensible kilometre. Then we can insert a bit of text in here. There we go. Delete that one. I did it twice. There we go. We can change it. Double click on that and we can change the font size. So I want that 14. You have to go to that side. 14. Okay. There we go. And so we can add all of that kind of stuff. It'll need a fair bit of tidying up, but that can be done either in ArcGIS or when we export it. Okay. Remember to save your work. And we're getting pretty close to having a presentable map.